melting away because the way we live. Now time has come to create hope in the world. We cannot stop it anymore. The more we can work together, easy it will be. But the only way we can do it, according to the old people, is to melt the ice in the heart of man. Only by melting the ice in the heart of man, man will have a chance to change and begin using his knowledge wisely. That is the time now.
On behalf of the people of the North, as well as all of us, South, East, West, I thank you all for helping to save this planet. Thank you. And thank you for saving your future and my future and our future together. Thank you.
My beloved human family, we are full of gratitude and have had the privilege to come to the roof of the world to witness what isn't obvious to many of us in our homes, that the ice has melted dramatically even in this last decade. And we as human beings, each and every one of us, need to be responsible to become Earth stewards, to show our love and our dedication and our support to help repair the condition that our human activities have brought us. And so I invite us all to become Earth stewards and become heart stewards.
We have initiated the Peace Pledge project to bring loving kindness and compassion into action and into the lives of all we meet. I want you to join us in this Peace Pledge, coming to the heart of the matter, the heart of loving kindness and compassion.
My brothers and sisters, behind me is the polar ice cap. We are in Greenland, bearing witness to the fact that a few years ago this was almost a mile high, and you can see that it's not a mile high anymore. Because of greed and because of the irresponsible burning of fossil fuel, we are melting the polar ice cap and endangering the future. We believe that what is most important is to melt the human heart. Out of fear, we're threatening the planet with nuclear weapons, and out of greed, we're burning the planet. My dear brothers and sisters who are with me, Tai Situpa is a Buddhist master from Tibet and living in India. He is joined or led by our Inuit leader, Uncle Agangak. Brigitte is from the Netherlands and the organizer of the Peace Pledge Project, and my brother Shabda Khan is a Sufi master from the United States. But we know we're part of a much larger family, and we ask you to join us in this work of stopping the melting of the polar ice cap and melting the human heart with loving kindness and compassion. Please join us. That you can live your life like a dance. Of course, bless the spirit in New York City. They call it ballet. Or in Milan, or in Rome, or in Munich, or in Berlin, or in New Delhi. Wherever we are, we call it ballet, not realizing it.
To share this with people. And what else is there to say? doing our best. And if you have any uncles or nieces or brothers or sisters that happen to have a couple of 100 millions to get us on their way, to do an even smaller thing, that would always help.
Thank you so much, Franz. Thank you.
We, as most advanced living creature on this earth, that's what we're supposed to be, human beings. Some call us social animals. Anyway, we definitely are the living creatures that makes the biggest impact, good and bad impacts. No, here have done that. So I must say, in a positive sense, we are quite clever. Yes. And we are quite evolved. Yes. Having said that, are we the happiest one? I don't think so. Because if we are the happiest one, the things that are happening throughout the world in the name of religion, in the name of ideology, in the name of progress, in the name of all kind of excuses. You know, and this way it proves that we are not that happy. Now, progress we made. Library, business, geography, friend, communication, entire huge number of industry, business, press, social media, we can run with this. Great progress. I'm not paid by this, okay? Really? Believe me. Okay, I'm a monk. I'm a bhikshu. I am not supposed to be saying these kind of lies. So I am not paid by this. I don't think they even know my name. I don't think so. Maybe they heard because they. Anyway, we progressed. We progressed. So now it is time for us. Here we represent actually large population of the planet Earth. One way or another, as the uncle mentioned several times in our family gathering and family affair. Yellow people, red people, white people, and black people and brown people. So all are represented here. All. Yes. So in this Greenland, it was long time. Maybe I was 8, 9. I got books, and I used to have lots of pen
friends. Those days we call it pen friends. And also I used to have persons who sort of adopted me and sent me things. Sometimes even send a big bundle of newspaper, you know, over the post. Must be through ship. That was long time back. And then I saw Greenland. I was fascinated. And dog vehicle. I was fascinated. Ice home. I was fascinated. And wearing the skin of some creatures that live in the sea. Fascinated. So normally fish don't have hair. You know, these creatures have hair. Fascinated. So I didn't know much about its importance in the ecosystem, but very, very, very outstanding in so many ways. And then there's a few other places, but I think I can talk about that in some other time when I'm in those places, right? Now, when I became a little bit more mature than 8-year-old, 10-year-old, sometimes you never know. They're more mature than us who are supposed to be grown up, because their mind is not polluted. You know, their mind is fresh, pure, just like a Greenland ice water, fresh and pure. But anyway, when I came of age, then I have learned about the importance of Greenland and other places, South Pole as well. You know, but Greenland is very different from all the other places. This is in the north, and the energy field of the planet Earth, which keeps everything going around us, and we are going around the sun, and so many things. Everything is perfect. And in this field, then Greenland is in a very, very, very important position to have this kind of chair, you know, with this kind of symbols. Really, truly. Because what I'm not a scientist, but I know a little bit because I'm maybe curious. Yes, and I wanted to know. I wanted to know always. That is what Buddhism taught me. That is what my masters taught me. Even if you are dying tomorrow, even if you know that, today you should learn much as you can. Wow. Yes, because in your next life, it will be easier for you to study those subjects than you don't know anything about those things. If you are a good artist in this life, your next life, art will be easier for you. And if you are a good person in this life, next life you will be born as a good person. So don't be rude to yourself. Don't be unkind to yourself. Do your best for your sake, for everybody's sake. Things that gentlemen there here, our brother, our family member, have mentioned, so you learn from these. But one important thing is, Iceland water, huge quantity, going into the ocean. And that is itself a big waste. Why? Ancient, pure water
drinkable, best water going into the ocean by huge number of billions and billions of liters every day. And the moment it touches the ocean, not drinkable. Then if you have to make it drinkable, 1 liter, how much work, how much effort you have to put. Okay, that's one part. There's not only only one part. No, there's another part, many parts. But as a layperson in science, I know very few repercussions. Scientists know 100 times, 1,000 times, 10,000 times more than I do. So that is, then that good pure water become bad because ocean level rises. Coastal cities are endangered. Small countries like Maldives, so many others will disappear. And life in the sea will be impacted. And climate will change. When you're supposed to have rain, no rain. When you're not supposed to have rain, lots of rain. Deserts will expand. So on and so forth. So this way, and then glaciers, not only here, the result of the melting of the glaciers here will melt the glaciers everywhere. You know, Tibet is known as third pole, and it is the source of so many of the great rivers of the world, especially Asia, Central Asia, and so on. And then all those glaciers melt, what will happen? We know very clearly with Mount Kailash what is the condition in Mount Kailash and how it is in Gangotri, the source of river Ganges, and right in front of our nose. In 20 years, 30 years, it shrunk by so many kilometers. So this way, there is huge impact. So if one can make this water going into the ocean, I'm just using the layman's term, if it is 1,000 units going into the ocean, if you can put this 100 out of 1,000, that means 10%, and make it as a drinkable water, it will, 10% is too much, because even 1% will give every person on it. There was lakes on top of the big ice. Big ice, I don't mean just little piece we saw, you know, it is entire continent. This continent which never had a war. So these waters are drilling down into the ice, because water on ice means that water is warmer than ice on which it is sitting. So it will drill down. Then that way it will melt underneath. And underneath, because of the weight of the ice, for so many millions of years, there is a basin, enormous basin, that will be water. So from top, from underneath, then what happens is it will make the ice sheet crack here and there. And then that way, big pieces of ices will come out. So little effect of that we saw already. So this way, I pray, as far as I'm concerned, I'm a Buddhist, so I pray to Buddha, and then I want all of you to pray to everything that they believe in. Whatever you believe in, you pray. And if you don't believe in anything, then you pray to that something which is nothing. Yeah, pray to that as well. Okay? Yes. Yes. And whatever you believe, pray to that. And now I want you to conclude. Three things. My principle, very simple principle, because I have to have a simple principle when I do my things. When I do my Dharma work, I mean, everything is Dharma work, but Buddhist sacred Dharma duty, I know how to do, because it is all taught and everything. But practical things, I needed to have something. That was never taught to me by my gurus. So I have to learn from the trial and error in my life. So, three things. What do you want? What do you have? And what do you need? I want this much, but I don't need that much. Yes. And so then what do you want goes with what you don't want. You know, what you need goes with what you don't need. What you have with what you don't have. So we have so much fresh water. We need fresh water. Yes. So this way, what we want is, of course, so many things. But I don't think we can worry about those things right now, because technically speaking, if we are able to use 1% of the fresh water, then we don't have to worry about the fresh water supply of the planet Earth, unless each one of us wanted to have 10 children. You know? And somebody like me who is a bhikshu, I will never have any. And many of you who have a pretty good life, you don't want too many. You wanted to take care of the amount of children that you have, so that you can educate them, you can provide them good life. You don't want to have too many. Of course, some people might have, some people might want, that's different. So that way, it will be for a long time, sustainable for a long time. Then it should impact the preservation and propagation of the ice itself, because there will not be the enemy of the ice sitting on top of the ice, which is like enemy of him, her, and me, and all of you, is our ego, our greed, our jealousy, our anger. So all of that is our enemy. So when on top of the big ice, the ice become water due to all kinds of reasons, then that becomes the enemy of the ice. Underneath the ice, water, then that is the enemy of the ice. So all of that can be taken care nicely if this is done in a most conscientious, intelligent, and use the wisdom. Don't use too much your head. Use head, of course. You know, if we don't use our head, we are carrying this brain in our head for all of our life. It is extra baggage. So we use it, but we use our wisdom. And Buddha bless all of you. Whatever you believe, bless all of you. Whatever you don't believe, bless all of you.